it is Matt Heaton here with a quick little Bouzouki nugget, Bouzouki tutorial, Bouzouki thing. I'm going to just talk to you about a couple chordal ideas, and in the key of G. Actually, we're going to do a couple things in G. One of the really interesting things about the Bouzouki to me is how you can get an awful lot of mileage out of a very few shapes that are very close together. What I mean is, so this shape, okay, so I'm on the 4th fret of the low string and the 5th fret of the 3rd string. If I do that, I'm playing a B and a G. So that could be used as a G over B chord, right? Very helpful. If I take that, if I play with the open top 2 notes, it's just a pretty chord. It's a G over B with a 9 in it with an A, which I don't have a problem with. If I move this finger down to the 4th fret, it's a B minor 7. Very, very close together, those 2 chords. You've just got this one half step turns that nice major G thing into a minor B thing. Okay, so this motion is what I'm interested in, going from 2 things on the same fret to having 1 fret separating. Okay, now we're going to take that. These 2 strings and these 2 strings, did I mention I'm in GDAD tuning? These 2, the bottom 2 and the middle 2, are the same interval. They're both a 5th apart. So the shapes are all transferable. If you go up here to the, so you're going to do this shape, and it's going to be up on, this is the, the 12, 11, 10, 9th fret. The 9th fret on the 3rd string, and the 10th fret on the 2nd string. Okay, this gives you a lovely G chord. I'll do it with these few. Normally I would probably play it with this, but here I'll do it with this so you can see it. Nice, right? It sounds kind of like this. This big G, but it's actually maybe a little easier to play. And then if you move this up, so now these 2 are on the same fret, you get kind of a C chord. It's a G sus4, but you could use it as a 4 chord. Now if we've got a G and we've got a C, we surely need a D, right? And you can get your D a couple different ways. You could go up, though I'm not a big fan of that voicing. It sounds a little weird. But this, or, okay, now what I'm doing here is I've got 7th fret on the 3rd string and 9th fret on the 2nd string. So is this, does that sound like very much D? No, not really. It's a D chord that you're using in this G thing. But if you go G, C, D, G, it's very nice little voicing, right? Now, to add to that a little bit, this is all over a G bass. What if we put that down? Then what do we get? So we've got this, our G chord, but then all of a sudden we put it down on this note, which is an E. It's E minor. E minor 7. Okay, so that's an E minor. That's handy. And then this. So I'm doing that same move, moving this finger up to the 10th fret, but over this, now an E note. Then that goes from E minor to C over E this time. which should harken back to, because it's the same thing. And then gloriously, for our D chord, if you actually fret both of these, you get a big old D chord. So we could go like E minor to C to D to G, or the other way around, G to C to D to E minor. The E minor is also useful if you're actually in an E minor tune. Nice chord to have there. So you know, you can this idea here that you're playing like a 6-4, depending on what key you're in. Like if we're in the key of D, in B minor, sorry, D, then B minor, G, to D. But of course, going to D, you can just do it open. So it can act, this shape, this little shape, depending on what key you're in, it can act as a 1 to 4. Like let's say I'm in G. There it is. 1 to 4. Or if I'm in, say, D, it can act as a 5 to 1. So I would spend a little time messing around with all these. And you can, of course, the other thing you can do that we didn't even talk about is just these shapes up and down the neck. Taking your, you know, this one, which is a 6th, and then this one, which would be the other 6th, major 6th and minor 6th. I kind of forget. This is the minor 6th, right? And this is the major 6th. Someone could correct me on this. They like inverted from the thirds, I think. Anyway, but this, like, 2 adjacent strings, either on the same fret, or with the this one down a bit. Lots and lots of chords can be found with those 2 shapes. And they work on the bottom 2 strings, and the middle 2 strings did not work on the top 2 strings because they're tuned at a different interval, right? Only works for the fifths. So I hope that is somewhat helpful, and I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to leave a note down below. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to Shannon for letting me borrow the space on her YouTube channel.